Hello, thanks for joining me for another video beer review then. So today we've got something pretty special. It's a beer from Bottle Logic Brewing, and they are out of California over in the USA. And yes, this is called Cake Day. It's to celebrate their, I think it's celebrate their, is it the 8th anniversary? Yeah, the 8th operational anniversary. So they were actually established in 2013. So yeah. So this is a an Imperial pastry stout. It's coming in at 14.5% ABV, 30 IBUs. It's a bourbon barrel aged Imperial chocolate cake stout. Um, it says slice into a sip of liquid birthday cake as we celebrate our 8th operational anniversary. Cake Day was aged in a combination of, I'm probably going to butcher some of these names up, so like I normally do. Uh, Bernheim, Four Roses, Heaven Hill, and Old Fitzgerald bourbon barrels. And as I say, it comes in at 14.5. Sweet chocolate from a blend of Ghanaian and Ecuadorian cacao nibs opens the palate. And then it's a flavour fiesta with vanilla, frosting, and sprinkles all the way through the finish. They're saying it's ridiculous. It's perfect. So it's crazy. Um, it's the 2022 release, so I assume they're going to have versions of this going forward. But this was from a bottle share last night, so you may have noticed, it's about that. Well, you can see it, but it's about that full. We had a share of it, and they were going to leave. I'm like, no, I'm taking that. So I've recapped it as best I could and brought it home. And I thought I'd do a review because it's not every day I certainly get to try a beer like this at home, because this would be normally shared, of course. So it should be kept all right. I mean, it's only 24 hours, so but it's got to be drunk today. And it's pouring out absolutely jet black there. It's probably lost a bit of carbonation, but it didn't really give off much anyway, because obviously the ABV puts pay to that. That's quite a nice pour for doing a review. So jet black, it looks like, yeah, it's just absolutely jet black in it. It's just there's a slight kind of, on the actual rim where it's touching the glass, kind of a brown sugar line that's going around with the light behind. But apart from that, yeah, let's give it a swirl. Yeah, it's got some nice alcohol legs on this one, as you'd expect. Staining the glass a little bit there. Let's get a nose on then. Wow, I mean, it's straight off the bat, it's boozy. A real deep dark baker's chocolate. You are getting that combination of barrels. Definitely almost like liqueur, chocolate liqueur-ish on the nose. It's a special beer. It's not coming across overly sweet, considering it's got vanilla in, and as I say, maybe a hint of, we'll get more on the taste hopefully, but you could probably get a bit of sweetness from the barrels, maybe. It smells divine, so let's give it a try. Cheers. Oh, this is one of them sipping beers. Of course, it's tasting as it did last night. I didn't have as much as this last night. It was more about that much in a smaller glass, because we wanted to make sure everyone had some, and everyone was in a hurry. We finished on this and another Imperial Stout, so everyone was like, the people I was with were trying to hurry up and get to the lift home. So anyway, thank you, Nikki. I really do appreciate you sharing this I wasn't expecting anyone to bring a bottle to a tap takeover, but really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And these beers aren't cheap. There's one or two that have made it over into the market, UK market, round about the £27 mark. But I know that one. I know how much this cost Nicky, and yeah, it was more than that. So we'll leave it there. A pretty special beer. So what am I getting? There's a little bit of alcohol there. It's more boozy on the nose. Maybe because it's been opened, it's released that initial kind of booze note, and it's calmed down a little bit. There's a little bit there. There's a little bit of warming in the pit of the stomach, but it's not. I mean, years ago, I've said it before in other reviews, I used to be really scared of higher ABV beers. Now it's like, whatever. Um, yeah, if you look at things like wine or things like that, then why should you be scared for the ABV of that high, that kind of ABV being in beer? But this is an absolute belter. It's so clean, it's smooth, velvety smooth on the palate. It's got a kind of a slight kind of dark fruit depth to it underneath all of that kind of that cacao nibs, and that's predominantly what you're getting along with the barrel. And then the ABV is kind of dropped out a little bit since last night, which is actually, for the drinking experience, improved it a little bit more, even though how can you improve on a stunning beer? Well, um, this is it. The next day. This is my first sip of beer today. Um, and I don't know, we're not going to follow this up with anything anywhere near like this. So I'm starting off with an Impy Stout straight off the bat, and then maybe have one or two beers, nothing crazy after this, and then call it an early night, I think. So other flavours before we go. That chocolate is absolutely stunning. The combination of Ecuadorian and Ghanaian chocolate or cacao nibs is really, it really does make this beer, if one, probably one of the best, or I've had beers very similar to this, but one of the best chocolate imperial stouts I've ever had. I've only probably had a handful, to be honest with you, and not all of them have been this ABV. Um, but if you want pure kind of liquid chocolate cake in a glass, this is it. You are getting that kind of sweetness, like it does remind you of like the sprinkles you get on chocolate cake, or that kind of thing. There is a bit of that going on. Add to that a little bit of bourbon as well, and yeah, it's just absolutely wonderful. It's um, it's a beer that I saw how much was left. Nicky goes, "I'll take it home and do a review." I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do that. Um, and here it is, and I've got the bottle to savour. So I'm going to try and possibly get one or two, not this beer, but other stouts from Bottle Logic. There is one or two knocking around the UK. They're about £27 a bottle for it's a 500ml bottle as well. Um, Expensive, but normally I'd buy something like this and go to a bottle share it out. But we'll see. I gave one to a good friend recently. It was his birthday, so I was like, oh, I didn't really have anything, so I just gave him this. I thought, Bottle Logic, you got to be, if you can try them and share them, it's like, there you go. That's what it's all about, really. So anyway, final thoughts then on this before I clear off. So yeah, Chocolate Day 2022, chocolate cake stout. It's a dessert beer if ever there was one. Um, I would quite happily instead of actually having an actual dessert, have a bottle of these if it was available, of course, which it's not. Um, this was this is not on the UK market. This is friends through friends through friends kind of deal. So it made it get to the UK. So a rare beer. Probably never going to try this again, or almost certainly not. Um, this is wonderful, and it's probably slightly improved on yesterday when I first tried it. Maybe it's a fresh palate, but it doesn't come across quite as boozy as it did last night. Last night was a little bit hot, but yeah, tonight it's wonderful. So, in the most highly unlikely event that you've actually had this beer, let me know what you think. So, from Bottle Logic out of California, this is their Cake Day, a chocolate cake stout, 2022. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Um, yeah, wow. That's all I can say. Thank you for watching then. See you on the next review. Cheers.